What if the real bottleneck in your company isn't strategy, talent, or capital, but the very place where your leadership team sits every day making decisions? Curious, if you're running a business in Singapore or Malaysia, let me ask you a simple question. When your leadership team gathers for a meeting, do discussions move quickly and naturally toward a decision? Or do conversations stretch longer than expected with people repeating the same points until someone finally says, let's revisit this next week? Size. And here is another thing founders rarely stop to ask themselves. If the people in the room are capable, experienced, and serious about the business, then why does clarity sometimes feel harder than it should? Stay with me for a few minutes because there are three reasons this conversation matters. First, many offices in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur were designed in a different business era when companies moved more slowly and hierarchy was more rigid. Yet the same layouts are still shaping how leadership teams think and communicate today. Second, certain office configurations that look impressive on paper quietly create friction in the way conversations flow, and over time, that friction turns into slower decisions and heavier management cycles. Third, once you begin noticing these patterns, you will see them not only in your own office, but also in the offices of partners, clients, and competitors. And suddenly, a lot of things about business momentum start to make more sense. If this perspective resonates as we go along, click like, share the video with another founder who constantly complains about long meetings, and subscribe to the channel because we talk about these practical leadership patterns quite often here. Now, think about a normal workday. A founder walks into the office in the morning with a list of priorities in mind. Meetings are scheduled, discussions are planned, and the expectation is that several important decisions will be made by the end of the day. Yet by evening, the feeling is different. The meetings happened, conversations were serious, but somehow the day feels heavier than expected, and the progress feels smaller than it should. Many leaders immediately assume the reason must be people because perhaps the team is hesitant, communication is unclear, or the market environment is uncertain. But there is another layer that most business owners never look closely at: the environment where those conversations happen every single day. Walk into two different offices, and you can sometimes feel the difference immediately. In one office, conversations feel calm and focused. People speak clearly, decisions land quickly, and the meeting ends with everyone knowing what to do next. In another office, the atmosphere feels slightly restless, even though nobody can explain why. People talk more, interrupt each other more, and discussions stretch longer before concluding. The people in those two offices might be equally intelligent, equally motivated, and equally experienced, yet the environment around them quietly nudges the conversation in different directions. Look at how many modern commercial offices are designed today. Glass walls everywhere, open workspaces, impressive meeting rooms near the entrance, and dramatic architecture that looks stunning from the outside. These designs photograph beautifully, which is why developers and architects love them. But the question most founders never ask is whether those same designs actually support the way leaders need to think. Take the boardroom as an example. In many companies, the boardroom is located near the reception area to create a strong first impression when clients walk in. The moment someone enters the office, they see the place where important discussions happen, which makes the company look serious and established. Yet that same location is often the busiest part of the entire office. People walk past constantly, phones ring nearby, visitors arrive and leave. Even when the door is closed, there is movement outside that the mind quietly notices. The meeting still takes place, but the room never feels completely settled. Conversations stretch longer because people feel slightly distracted, even though they do not consciously realize it. Now think about the executive office. Many founders sit in beautiful glass corner rooms overlooking the entire floor. The view is fantastic, and the space looks powerful from the outside. Yet the person sitting there sometimes becomes the most interrupted person in the entire company. Staff walk past and wave. Someone knocks to ask a quick question. Another colleague wants just 2 minutes. Over time, the leader spends more and more of the day responding to small issues rather than stepping back to think clearly about bigger decisions. The office still looks impressive, but the way the leader operates slowly shifts from directing the company to reacting to it. Another pattern appears in many modern towers, where the office floors are shaped with curves, angles, or cut-out corners to make the building stand out on the skyline. The design looks exciting from the outside, yet inside it creates spaces that feel slightly awkward to use. One department ends up squeezed into a narrow corner, another team sits near a noisy corridor, and the leadership room might sit in a spot that never quite feels stable. Nobody blames the architecture at first. The company continues operating normally, and people adapt. But over time, the small inconveniences accumulate. Meetings take longer because people interrupt each other more. Teams communicate less smoothly because the space separates them in strange ways. Leaders feel slightly more tired after a day of discussions because the environment constantly pulls their attention in different directions. Think about how children behave in different classrooms. In one room, they sit calmly and listen, while in another room, they become restless, even though the children themselves are exactly the same. Adults are not that different. We simply use more professional language to explain what the environment is doing to us. The space where people work influences how conversations unfold. A room can encourage focus or create a distraction. A layout can make collaboration easier or quietly introduce friction between teams. Over months and years, those small influences accumulate and shape how quickly a company moves. This becomes even more noticeable in today's business environment where things are moving faster than before. Markets shift quickly, information spreads instantly, and opportunities appear and disappear within short windows. When decisions need to happen faster, anything that slows the leadership process becomes more visible. That is why some companies suddenly feel heavier, even though the talent inside the organization has not changed. The business world has accelerated, but the physical environment in which decisions are made may still belong to an earlier era. When a leadership team spends every day inside a space that introduces small amounts of friction, those small delays add up. Discussions take longer, alignment becomes harder, opportunities pass because the organization takes too long to decide on a course of action. Now imagine the opposite scenario, a workspace where leadership sits with proper support, meetings happen in calm rooms away from constant interruptions, and departments are arranged in a way that allows communication to flow naturally. The same team of people suddenly finds that discussions feel clearer and decisions happen faster because the environment is helping rather than hindering them. Nothing mystical is happening there. The company simply removed structural friction that had been slowing the leadership process. Many founders spend large sums on consultants, technology, and training to improve performance. All of those things can be useful, yet very few leaders step back and look at the physical space where their most important decisions happen every single day. The office is not just a place where work occurs. It is the stage where leadership thinking takes place. If that stage constantly disrupts attention or weakens communication, the business quietly pays the price. Tomorrow morning, when you walk into your office, pause for a moment before jumping into the day's meetings. Look at where the leadership team sits. Look at where the important conversations happen. Notice where interruptions occur and where discussions feel most settled. Then ask yourself a simple question. Is this office helping the company think clearly, or has it quietly become another source of drag that everyone has learned to tolerate? If this conversation sparked a new perspective for you and you want to explore these ideas with other founders and business owners across Singapore and Malaysia, join the Destiny Architect Telegram chat through the link in the description. That's where we continue these discussions and look at how environment, leadership behavior, and business strategy intersect in ways most people never think about until they start noticing the patterns.